All right, welcome to another game of Precision Baseball. My name is Brian Haferkamp. I'm the designer and creator of Precision Baseball. And in this game, we are going to complete our 2003 NLDS replay. This is the Cubs at the Braves using the new 2003 cards for Precision Baseball. These cards will be released pretty soon. I think I have most everything finished, just making sure I've got all the edits done that I want to do. I think I still have one more thing to do in the game guide. Otherwise, the cards are finished, the ballparks are finished. So there's lots of good stuff here. And right now, our series is tied at 2. The Braves came back with a huge win in game number 4 on the road at Wrigley Field to force a game 5. So in this game, it's going to be Kerry Wood versus Mike Hampton. This is a matchup from earlier in the series that Kerry Wood won, I believe. Actually, no, Kerry didn't. No, he won game 1. I'm pretty sure he won game 1. Anyway, we are set for this one. October 5th, 2003 was when this was played. So right about, 21 years ago. So this is going to be, let's go through our starting lineups, actually, and let's get into this one. Kenny Lofton for the Cubs is starting in center field and leading off. Grudz is the second baseman. He's hitting second. Sosa is in right field, hitting third. Moises Alou in left, hitting fourth. Aramis Ramirez at third is hitting fifth. Eric Karros gets a start at first. He's hitting sixth. Alex Gonzalez is the shortstop. He's hitting seventh. Damian Miller will be catching, and he's hitting 8th, and then Kerry Wood hitting 9th. For the Braves, it'll be Rafi Furcal at short leading off. Marcus Giles at second base is hitting second. Gary Sheffield, the right fielder, is hitting third. Chipper Jones out in left field is hitting fourth. Javi Lopez is the catcher. He's hitting fifth. Andrew Jones is in center field. He's hitting sixth. Julio Franco gets a start at first base over Fick, and he'll be hitting seventh. Benny Castilla is at third base. He's hitting 8th. And Mike Hampton, actually a really good hitting pitcher. I saw he won the Silver Slugger, I believe, for pitchers in the National League. The award is like pitchers/DH. And so I guess in the National League back then, they give one to the pitcher. In the American League, they give it to the DH. So he was the Silver Slugger award winner, so we'll see if he brings any of that to the tabletop. All right, we got all of our charts ready to go. This will be in Turner Field. So we got our Turner Field chart here. You can see a picture of the ballpark. 8-foot fence all around, so there will be an opportunity to rob home runs. You can see the plate and the lines. That hasn't ever come up for me. It's in the highlight plays. And then our wall distance is about 330. Down the line. 385 average into the power alleys, and 400 straight away. Not a cookie cutter ballpark, but plays very, very evenly in the outfield. And so let's get this one started. It's going to be Mike Hampton finishing up his warm-up tosses. He can go 27 for his stamina. We'll see how long that lasts him. Kerry Wood is 28. So both of these guys should be able to get into the 6th, 7th, 8th inning if they're pitching well. If not, we'll see. I think I'm going to have a pretty short leash for any pitchers in this game. This is an elimination game. Game 5 is it in the wild card round. And so, or the DS round, I guess. It's kind of like the wild card round now. So I'm going to have kind of a short leash for any of these guys, and maybe be a little bit more aggressive, trying to find guys to bring in off the bench. So we'll see. Robert Fick is over there. He hits right-handers at a +6. Had a really good year for the Braves. So should Julio Franco stumble, or if we need a pinch hitter in a good situation, that's going to be him. All right, Kenny Lofton leads off. He is going to be, they're facing a left-hander. So Mike Hampton, so he's going to be a 1-9 for control. This comes up. Hampton's card, a 602 to a lefty, is going to be a strikeout as he gets it all started really well. with a strikeout of Kenny Lofton. A little side piece Lofton can't get to on the outside, and it's going to be out number 1 as he swings through it. Brings up Mark Grudzielanek. Grudzielanek, the second baseman. He is going to be a 1-13 to control. So it's off of Hampton again. 458 is going to be a line drive. Oh, is that right? Yeah, line drive. And that liner goes to center field, and no problem out there in center field for Andrew Jones as he makes a catch on the line drive. Has to go back just a little bit, but he makes the play. That'll be just 1. So Sammy Sosa to the plate. Sosa is a +3 against lefties, so he's a 1-13 to control. This comes off his card. And a 195 is going to be a fly ball. It's popped up to third. A chance for an error. The third baseman is Vinny Castilla. He has a -1 on his error. 92 to 188. And we have a 116. So that's going to be an error as Vinny goes out into short left field. And he gets a glove on it, but he can't catch it. And so that is ruled an E5. And Sammy Sosa again on via the error. He got on because of an error in the last game. Brings up Moises Alou as they get a second chance here. And Alou's going to control this at bat. A 360 against a lefty is going to be another fly ball. 799, that is into center field. And Andrew Jones with the catch in center field. And that'll be the third out of the inning. So the error doesn't come back to hurt the Braves. And the Cubs leave 1 at first. It is no score as we go to the bottom of the first. Brings up Rafi Furcal. Furcal against right-handers is a +6. Kerry Wood against lefties is a -4, so that makes him a 1-12. So a 493 for Furcal is a line drive as he squares one up. That's going to be hit to right field and caught in right field by Sammy Sosa for out number 1. So a good stroke there from Furcal. Hits it right to Sammy. Sammy makes a catch, and that'll be 1 down in the bottom of the first. For Marcus Giles again, righty against righty, even Steven. So this is going to be off of Giles's card. 7-11 is just into his hit by pitch range as he gets plunked by Kerry Wood. Wood trying to come inside. And he hits Giles, and Giles takes his walk down to first. He steals it a +1. A 404 is going to be a normal lead. Let's see if there's a pickoff attempt. No pickoff attempt on the plate. So Chef to the plate. He's even Steven with Kerry Wood as well. He's a +6. So 162 off of his card is going to be a ground ball. And a 110. That's a grounder to first base. Possible error on the play. The first baseman is Karros. He's a -1. 92 to 188. We have a 95, and that's going to be booted by Eric Karros. Maybe the nerves getting to everybody here. So we'll go E3. And Giles moves up on the error as the first baseman Karros can't handle the ball. And that's going to 2 runners on in front of Chipper Jones. Chipper Jones, this is not coming off his card, is 774 against... Oh, it is coming off of Chipper's card. So he is a 6 against righties. Wood is a -4. I forgot he's batting left-handed as a switch hitter. So he's a 1-12. That's a 12. So 714 off of his card is going to be a walk. That's off Chipper's card. So that's going to load the bases. And already Kerry Wood in a little bit of hot water here. 1 down, bases loaded. We're going to play double play depth and that'll give the second baseman and shortstop a little boost on their double play rating. Javi Lopez to the plate. He is going to be a 1-9 for control. So this is off of his 779. Is a base hit. That's a single. And that will be an infield hit, as he hits a little tapper down the first baseline. Everybody's going to be safe. And that's actually going to be an RBI for him. So the Braves get on the board first with an infield hit from Javi Lopez to take a 1-0 lead. They actually lost this game. They lost something like 5-1, or it wasn't that close. So we'll see what happens here. Andrew Jones to the plate. He's a 1-9 for control. 265. We're still playing a double play depth. 265 against a righty as a fly ball. It goes to center field and is caught in center field. Let's see if there's any advancement. That'll be out number 2. We'll look here and see if there's any advancement on the play. So bases loaded and hit to center field. There's a few that are automatic go, and then our option 866 is going to be go time. And so from third base, Gary Sheffield is going to take off, and we're going to have play at the plate. So Sheffield is a +1 when he runs, and we are looking at the center fielder. The center fielder is Lofton. He range, so his arm is a 0. And Sheffield runs at a +1. So that's going to be all on the outfielder. Onus is on the outfielder. So he's a 0. Anything 101 to 210 is going to be thrown out at the plate. 101 to 210. That's what we're looking for. So Lofton coming home with it. And it is a 325. So that's going to be safe at the plate as Sheffield comes home on the sac fly. Let's see what the trail runners do. So the Braves are aggressive on the bases. Chipper Jones runs at a -1. And trail runners are here. -1 on a throw to home is going to be an advance. Actually, that's a little goofy, huh? That should be -2 to -5. So that's going to be an advance for I have to clarify that. Okay, I'll have to clarify that on the charts. Basically, this is a 0, I guess, and then -1 to -5, 1 to -5, greater than 5. So that makes more sense. So -1 to -5, going home is my choice. For him to advance or not. And basically what you do is you use the base running extra bases chart. So it'll be here. That'll be the range. I'm not going to do that with these guys. So if that runner at second doesn't move up, nobody moves up. So we'll leave it like that. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 6 batters. So that's to the 21. There's a walk in there, so we're down to 20 for him. 2 runs are in, and Andrew Jones gets it deep enough to get the run in from third. Let's check our runner at second base. Chipper is a -1. That's a big lead for Chipper. And there's no pickoff attempt. I don't think we have anything on a 3 of a kind. Yeah, we don't have anything for a 3 of a kind on that roll. So there is no pick-off attempt, but he's got a big lead. He wants to try to steal, which we're not going to do. We're going to let Julio Franco swing away. He is a 1-3 for control. That's about as bad as you can get. So this comes out the pitcher card. 752, though, is going to be a walk, as Kerry Wood really struggling here in the first inning. Loads the bases again, and it'll be Vinny Castilla to the plate. Got a pitch to Castilla. With 2 outs, we're going to play the infield back, and this will be off of Kerry Wood's card, a 0-22. Much better result. That's going to be a ground ball. That goes to second base, and it's caught by the second baseman. Let's see what happens on the play. A 0-97 with the bases loaded is a 4-3 putout. And with 2 outs, that'll be the end of the inning. So another long first inning for the Braves. They've had a few of those in this series. They scored 2. Could have been a lot worse than that, but Kerry Wood limits the damage at least a little bit. We head to the top of the second inning. Mike Hampton will face off against Ramirez, Karros, and Gonzalez. Aramis Ramirez had a home run in his first at-bat in this series. We'll see if he can replicate anything like that. He's a +1 against lefties. That makes him a 1-11. So this is off his card. 900. He is going to be a single, not a home run, but a single, and this is a little blooper down the left field line. And the left fielder is Chipper Jones. So Ramirez runs at a -1. Chipper is a +1. So I don't think that Ramirez is going to try to advance on that blooper, but he's aboard with a single. And the Cubs are in business. So he is a 0 stealing. That's a normal lead with no pickoff play. Eric Karros to the plate. Karros had a big 3-run homer in game number 1. Against lefties, he is a +4. So a good one to have in there. He's a 1-14 to control. So 539 against a righty is going to be a line drive. And that liner goes to second base. It's caught by the second baseman. Let's see if there's a chance for a double play. We have our line drive sheet here. We have a runner at first. It's a 536. And that's going to be in the red. So there's no double play attempt. Just a line drive to second base. That'll be out number 1. Karros hits it hard, but he hits it right to the second baseman, Giles, who makes a good play. Leading off, 372. That's a normal lead with no pickoff play. Alex Gonzalez to the plate. He is a +1 against lefties, so a 1-11 to control. 0-16 is going to be a ground ball. That goes to the first baseman and caught at first by Julio Franco. Let's see what happens on the play. First baseman, we got a runner at first base. It's a 397. That's going to be a 3-6 double play chance. So we're looking at the DP rating for the first baseman. His DP rating is a 0. So we'll check here. It needs to be a 541 to 710 to turn the double play. It's a 980, so no double play there. And we're going to go 3-6 on the fielder's choice. That'll be out number 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And Should be right. So Damian Miller to the plate. Got a new man at first base. He's a -1 stealing, so 108 is going to be a short lead. No pickoff attempt. Damian Miller against lefties is a +1, so he's a 1-11 to control. 681 off of his card is going to be a strikeout. So Mike Hampton ends the inning with a K. The Cubs strand one in the top half of the second. They get a couple of runners on in the inning, but they can't get them around. And we head to the bottom of the second inning, still 2-0 Atlanta. They're going to send up the pitcher and then back to the top of the order. This is going to be Mike Hampton. 490 off of his card is a fly ball. It goes out to right field and is caught in right by Sammy for out number 1. Don't sleep on Hampton, pretty good hitter, but especially against right-handers. 658 OPS against right-handed pitching in 60 at-bats, so pretty good. It's going to be Ralphie for call. For call is a 1-12 to control, so it's off Kerry Wood's card. 816 is going to be another hit by pitch. So Kerry Wood, not afraid to come in, has hit Giles and for call at this point. For call steals at a +4, so 297 is a normal lead. There is no pickoff attempt. If he wants to steal, it's a 3 + 3, so 6. So he would be at a -2. That's not good odds for him. So, not going to do that. But Giles is up to the plate. This comes off his card. 667, almost 3 of a kind. 667 against a righty is going to be a walk. So 2 on now after the first out. Kerry Wood may not last long in this one. We'll see. I'm going to play infield at double play depth, a 665 for a +4 base stealer is normal. 868 means there will be a pickoff attempt at second base as he turns and throws. So Wood is a 3. Anything 31 to 100 and he'll get the runner at second base. It's a 562, so he's going to be safe at second. I give him one crack at that, and then, you know, if he can't get it, then he doesn't get it. All right, so Kerry Wood against Gary Sheffield. Sheffield got on being an error to the first baseman Karros last time. Chef is a 1-10 for control. This is off his card, a 925. That's going to be trouble. That is going to be a double. A fly ball off of the left field wall almost parks it for a 3-run homer, but he's going to settle for a 2-bagger. That's going to score the runner from second base. As for call comes around to score, Giles runs at a +2. And going first to home, so the Braves are cautious when they go first to home. So into left field, that's going to be a hold. So they get a little bit more cautious going first to third. That's an RBI double for Chef. He winds up at second base. The Braves have 3 runs now. It's 3-0. And they've got 2 runners on. Not going to steal home, so I'm not going to be real worried about checking the lead at third base. Chipper Jones to the plate. There's only 1 out. He doesn't have a big K percentage. He's got a big walk percentage. Kerry Wood against lefties doesn't strike out guys quite as much, but he does walk them. A walk is not going to kill us here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and play the infield in. So any ground balls will use the infield in chart. Okie doke. Chipper is even up with Kerry Wood. So an 11 is going to come off of Kerry Wood's card. A 0.79 against a lefty is a grounder. That ground ball goes to 960. 960 is right back to the pitcher. Kerry Wood is going to make the play. And let's see what kind of things happen here. So we got the pitcher here. And we've got a 264. That is just a 1-3 putout, and the runner is going to score from third. So the only play is to first base. He's going to pick up an RBI. He's going to come in to score on the fielder's choice, and that's going to be the second out of the inning. We're going to assume he moves along on the fielder's choice as well. So 4-0 is our score here in the bottom of the second inning as Chipper hits one such that the only play was to first base. So they do get the out at first, but disappointing for Kerry Wood. So we got a runner at third base. That's Gary Sheffield. Javi Lopez to the plate, trying to pick him up. This comes off Wood's card. A 0.59 is a grounder. That's a ground ball to first base. And 861 will be a good catch. .462 with a runner at third is a 3-1 putout as he tosses it to the pitcher who's covering. And that'll be out number 3. But the Braves do put 2 more runs on the board in the bottom of the second inning. They lead 4-0 early in this one. This is an elimination game, game 5, as the Braves look to close this one out. But the Cubs, let's see if they got a little fight in them. A little dog, as they say. Kerry Wood coming to the plate. Wood, a really good hitter. I think he had a home run and a double in this series. Against lefties, he's a -2, though. So he's a 1-8 to control the at-bat. 831, though, is going to come off of the pitcher card. That's going to be a base hit of some sort. 623 is a double against a righty, and that's going to be a ground ball into right center field. It rolls all the way to the wall. It's picked up by the center fielder, Andrew Jones. And Kerry Wood is going to slide in safely to second base with a leadoff double. They bring him his jacket so he can put it on at second base. He steals at a 0, so 488. That's a normal lead with no pickoff attempt. Kenny Lofton to the plate, struck out in his first at-bat. Against lefties, he's a 0, and Hampton is a -1, so that makes him a 1-9 for control. 241 against a lefty is going to be a ground ball. That's a ground ball to third base, picked up by the third baseman Castilla. Let's see what happens on the play. 175 with a runner at first is going to be a 5-4 fielder's choice, and they only get 1. Can't turn 2. Oh, at second base, you know what? It was at second base. So 175 with a runner at second base. I'm sorry. A 4-3 putout. The runner is going to advance. So first out of the inning, but they get the runner to third base. Kenny Lofton gets high fives when he comes back to the dugout for doing his job. getting the runner over. Let's see if they can get him in. Grudzelantic, in his last at-bat, lined out to Andrew Jones in center field. He is going to be a 1-13 for control. So this comes off the pitcher. 447 is a line drive against a righty. And that liner goes to left field. This will be Chipper Jones in left. He is a -1. So up to 188. It's a 184, and Chipper Jones comes in hard on the line drive. It hits off his glove, off the heel of his glove. And Grudzelantic is going to be on with an E7. A couple of errors here. That's going to score the run from third base. And no RBI given on the play, as it should have been an out. But Grudzelantic at first base nonetheless, and the Cubs are on the board. It's now 4-1. Grudzelantic steals at a 0. 692. That's going to be a normal lead. And there will be a pickoff play, 9-10. So let's see, Hampton is a +1. So anything 31 to 100, both pitchers pretty good. But he is back safely. And that'll bring up Sammy Sosa. Sosa on via an error his last time. Sosa against lefties is a +3. So he's a 1-13. This comes off Sammy's card, 8-12. That's going to be a base hit. And that is a blooper into center field. So a little Texas leaguer into center field. And let's see if Grudzelantic advances or not. He's going first to third. And he runs at a -1. The Cubs are cautious. So first to third and a -1 into center field. That's going to be a hold. So he'll wind up at second base on the single. And the Cubs are in business here. They got one in already. And Moises Alou coming to the plate. Home run could make things real interesting here. This is off of Hampton's card. 331 against a righty is a fly ball. So not a home run, but 6-11, that's out to center field. Andrew Jones makes the catch. That'll be out number 2. And let's see if there's any runner advancements on the fly ball. We have runners at first and second. Could be one opportunity where he has to go. So it's going to be my choice. I'm going to keep him there with Ramirez coming to the plate. No need to push it and make a third out at third base. Especially Andrew Jones. He's a +4 arm. So best to just not run on Andrew. Aramis Ramirez to the plate against lefties. He's a +1. So he's a 1-11 to control. This is really good. 985. That's a super big problem for Mike Hampton, as Ramirez gets a hold of one. And that is high and deep and gone into the second deck in left field, as Aramis Ramirez brings the Cubs all the way back with a 3-run jack. Absolute bomb to left field. That's going to bring home Grudzelantic and Sosa. Wow. He got a changeup that caught a little bit more of the middle than Hampton wanted. And that ties it up at 4 apiece here in the top of the third, as Aramis Ramirez goes big bombs to left field. Against lefties, he slugs at a 7-11. Feasting on left-handed pitching. So, Eric Karros to the plate. He lined out in his last at-bat. It'd be sad if it wasn't so funny. So Hampton was not able to do the job. that they hired him to do, which was to get him to the World Series. And it was a frustrating time because he would be great all the time until you needed him. Hampton, but for Houston, he was just lights out all the time. That was the frustrating part. Karros is a +4, so a 1-14. So it's off Karros' card. 743 against a lefty is a base hit, and that's going to be a line drive to left field. The chipper, let's see if he makes an error or not. No error on the play. So Hampton having his own troubles here in the third. Brings up Alex Gonzalez. Karros run or steals at a 0. That's going to be a normal lead, but no pickoff attempt. Gonzalez reached on a fielder's choice his last time up. There's 2 outs. There's 4 runs already in for the Cubs here in the top of the third. And Alex Gonzalez is a 1-11 to control this at bat. So 183 off the pitcher's card is going to be a grounder. And that ground ball goes to second base. 196, that's a possible error. Giles is pretty good. He's a -1. And just barely misses it, 189, or 92 to 188. So it's a 199, 196. So he is going to make the catch at second base. Let's see if he makes the play. We got a runner at first base. It's hit to the second baseman. A 135 is going to be a 4-6 put out as he flips to for call at second base. So we'll go 4-6. That'll be the third out. But the Cubs put up 4 in the top of the third inning. They tie it all up at 4 apiece. Kerry Wood all of a sudden back into this one as he goes out for the bottom of the third. It'll be Andrew Jones, Julio Franco, and Vinny Castilla for the Braves. It's a 1-9 for Kerry Wood. So 574 against a righty is going to be a strikeout. Let's see if he goes on a run. Oddly enough, first strikeout of the day for Kerry Wood. He has not fooled anybody up to this point. Julio Franco to the plate. This is off Franco's card. 769 is going to be a walk. And Kerry Wood has just been all over the place. That's his 4th walk. The Braves being very patient. He's got 4 walks. He's got 2 hit by pitch. Franco's walked twice. He's a 0, so 112 is a short lead. And it's Vinny Castilla to the plate. Going to play back at double play depth. This is off Castilla's card. 715 is another walk. And we're going to come out for a mound visit. So that bumps him back up to a 7. Got runners at first and second for the pitcher. I'm going to let Hampton hit away here. He's got a 658 OPS against right-handers. 684 for a 0. That's a normal lead. A 902 is going to be a pickoff attempt at second base. And a 114. Let's see. Wood is a 3. And he almost gets him. He needed 31 to 100 and got 114. So that was pretty close. All right, so Mike Hampton going to hit away. He is a 4, or he's got a 4. Against righties, he's a -1, so he's a 1-3 for control. So this comes off Kerry Wood's card. 397 against a righty is just into his strikeout range. Wow, 394 is the beginning of his strikeout range. So he just gets it in there. He's going to stay there, and it's two down in the inning now. They got 2 on. And let's check the runner at second again. You don't have to check the runner every single time. 926. That's a normal lead, but I feel like it throws a little wrinkle into the game. No pickoff attempt. Rafi for call to the plate. He was hit by a pitch last time up. This is a 16, so that's going to come off of Kerry Wood's card. A 974, though, that's trouble, as that's going to be a hit. And whoa, 949 against a righty. That's going to be a big bomb, big fly. 13, that is deep to right center field, and that one is not coming back as he caught it on the sweet spot. That's going to be a 3-run homer for Rafi for call, who answers right back for the Braves with a 3-run shot here in the bottom of the 4th inning. That makes it 7-4, as he's going to bring home Julio Franco and Vinny Vidavici Castilla. Oh boy, we got ourselves a game. All right, for call, definitely the MVP of this series. He has just been all over the place. And Marcus Giles standing in. This is going to come off Wood's card again, 423. 423 against a righty is a strikeout, but it's one batter too late, as Kerry Wood gives up the big blow to Rafael for call. The Braves scored 3 more. They've scored more than 1 run in every inning so far of this game. Coming out with their hitting shoes on. And it is going to be top of the 4th inning. Mike Hampton will face off against Damian Miller, Kerry Wood, or at least Kerry Wood's spot. Don't know if I should leave him in there, maybe. The pitcher spot, we'll say that, and Kenny Lofton. We'll see if there's an opportunity for some driving in some runs. All right, Damian Miller against lefties is a +1. Hampton is a 0, so that makes him a 1-11. 494, though, against a lefty. That's going to be a line drive, and that goes to left field. Possible error on Chipper Jones, 002. Jones in left field is a -1, and it will not be an error. So, go L7 as Jones makes a nice running catch, and that'll be out number 1. Brings Kerry Wood to the plate. Let's go ahead and let him hit away. Give him one more inning, see if he can get through the 4th. Possibly he could get through the 5th. We'll see. 18, that comes off Hampton's card. 324 against a righty. He has a fly ball. 997, that's going to be a pop-up to the pitcher. Don't have a lot of those, but the pitcher does make the play. That's Hampton. Good fielder. I think he won the Gold Glove as well. So, P1. Don't get a lot of P1s, but he pops it up to the catcher. A little short pop-up, not one of those big tall ones that they call off the pitcher. A little short pop-up that he catches, and that'll be out number 2. So 2 quick ones here in the 4th. And the Braves score, or the Cubs had a 3-run homer with 2 outs before, so we'll see how they fare now. Kenny Lofton against a lefty is a 0. So he's just a 1-9 to control the at-bat, but he does. 545, sorry. 545 is a line drive. That goes to left field, and Chipper is up for it there as he takes a few steps back, reaches up and makes the catch in left, and that's going to be out number 3. A 1-2-3 inning for Mike Hampton, so we're going to just leave his stamina there for that 1-2-3 inning. And we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. It is 7-4, Atlanta over Chicago. Kerry Wood, we'll leave him on the mound. We'll see how he goes. He's facing off against Sheffield, Jones, and Lopez. He's even Steven, so 1-10 is off Chef's card. 497 is going to be a line drive against a righty. That's a liner into center that Kenny Lofton goes back on and makes a nice running catch. L8 for the first out. Brings up Chipper Jones Jones is 0 for 1. He grounded out his last time up, but he got an RBI for it. 16 is going to go to the pitcher. 656 against a lefty is a strikeout. So Kerry Wood starting to find his feel for the strikeout. He's got 4 in the last 5 batters. No, 3 in the last 5. Brings up Javi Lopez. Javi Lopez is going to be a 1-9 for control. Doesn't matter, he gets too much of the plate. 937 is going to come off of the pitcher card. A 240 is going to be a base hit, and that is a line drive to left center field. That's picked up by the left fielder, Moises Alou. Lopez does not run fast, so we're going to leave him there at first base. Brings up Andrew Jones. Jones struck out in his last at bat. He's also got a sac fly in this one. 1-10. This comes off Kerry Wood's card. A 71 is a grounder. We are playing at normal depth with 2 outs, so 399 is a grounder to short, and the play is made at short. So with a runner at first base and 790, that's going to be a 6-4 put out. A little shovel to second base, and that will be out number 3. So the Braves get 1 on, but they can't get him around to score. Kerry Wood does a good job just getting through 4 innings up to this point. Seems to be settling in just a little bit. And it'll be Grudzelanic, Sosa, and Alou against Mike Hampton, so heart of the order for the Cubbies. He's a 1-13. Grudzelanic is to control the at-bat. 539. 539 off the pitcher card. Oh, that's a strikeout. His strikeouts start at 539, and he gets Grudzelanic looking. Grudzelanic can't believe it. The ump gives him the call, though, and that's going to be 1 out here in the 5th. Brings up Sammy Sosa. Sosa 1 for 2. This will come off of Hampton's card. 648 against a righty is another strikeout. So back-to-back Ks for Mike Hampton. So 2 down in the inning, and it'll be Moises Alou to the plate. Alou with a couple of flyouts to center field. Against the lefty is a +4, so 1-14. 106 is going to be a ground ball. That's a ground ball to second base. 506 is going to be a good catch, and that'll be a 1-2-3 inning for Mike Hampton, who gave up the 4 runs back in the 3rd inning, but has settled down for a couple of scoreless frames since then. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. It is still 7-4 Atlanta. Looking to close out this NLDS. Winner goes home with the moves on to the next round. Kerry Wood, we'll leave him out there. He's going to face off against Franco Castilla and the pitcher spot. This will be off of Julio Franco's card. A 963 against a righty is going to be a double, as Franco, with a blooper down the left field line, and nobody's going to get there, he's going to wind up sliding safely into second base with a leadoff double. Let's see what he does with Vinny. Franco a 0, so 329. That's a normal lead with no pickoff. And Vinny to the plate. He is going to be a 1-7 for control. So this comes off the pitcher. 463 against a righty is a strikeout. Big time strikeout there. And Mike Hampton to the plate. .243 is a normal lead and no pickoff. Mike Hampton with an opportunity here. Against righties, he's a 1-3 for control. So it's off Kerry Wood's card, 523. And that's going to be another strikeout. Back-to-back Ks for Kerry Wood after the leadoff double. And Wood about as mentally tough as they get. 160. That's going to be a short lead at second base, so no pickoff attempt. 452 and 8. Ooh, what we got here? We got Rafi for call, who had a 3-run homer his last at bat. He's 1 for 2. He is 1-12 for control. 452 against a righty is a line drive, as he has hit it solid every time. 600 on a line drive is going to be into center field. Possible error on the play, 034. Lofton is a 0. A 28-91 is an error, and he's going to make an error. Oh my gosh. And with 2 outs, I always let that base runner get an extra base, because he's going to be taken off on the play. And so that's going to be a run scored on the error. No RBI there, as Kenny Lofton makes an error in center field. That allows the run to come in from second base. Because if you think about it, he's running on contact. And then if you make a 1 base, you know, that's 1 base and then a 1 base error. He doesn't have to sit around and wait for the guy to catch the ball or not. So the Braves are now up 8-4. That's a little bit of a homebrew kind of thing that I personally do, just because that's a little tweener situation. Marcus Giles is up. He is 0 for 1. He struck out in his last at bat. This comes off of Giles's card, so we don't have to worry about that. 208 against a righty is going to be a fly ball. That goes out to center field. 280 is what that was. And Kenny Lofton redeems himself by making the 3rd out. But his error, costly, as the Braves put up another run in the bottom of the 5th inning. 8-4 is our score as we go to the top of the 6th. Mike Hampton still on the mound. He'll face off against Aramis Ramirez, Eric Karros, and Alex Gonzalez. A little bit of shell shock for Hampton, as he remembers the 3-run jack that Ramirez hit into the second deck in his last at-bat, so we'll see how he pitches him here. He is a 1-11 to control, 235. This time he gets the ball down, and that's going to be lifted to 750. That is lifted into center field. Catch made in center field by Andrew Jones. That's going to be out number 1. Braves getting a pretty good start from Hampton. He did give up the 3-run homer after an error. It's probably could have, should have been out in the inning, but wasn't. An 8 to Eric Karros. Karros is 1 for 2. He had a single in his last at bat. He's a 1-14 for control. So a 988 to Karros, and that's going to be bombs away to Eric Karros. As Karros goes into the bullpen, the opposite field, into right center field, and Karros with the solo homer gets the Cubs a little bit closer. Sitting on a changeup, he got one a little bit elevated, deposits it into right center field. Karros now 2 for 3. Brings up Alex Gonzalez. Gonzalez with control of this at bat, a 693 against a lefty is a strikeout, just at the top of his strikeout range. 4th strikeout, 5th strikeout of the day for Mike Hampton. Hampton not a huge strikeout guy, somewhere 15, 17%. And so Damian Miller stands in. He is 0 for 2. This is going to come off Hampton's card. 753 against a righty is just into the hit range, so that's going to be a hit for Damian Miller. A 425 is going to be a single, and 17 is a blooper down the right field line. That's out number 2, by the way. So that'll be a blooper down the right field line. That's a single for Damian Miller, who gets jammed on a cutter, but gets it to fall. We're going to have a pinch hitter for the Cubs. And we got a lefty. So let us go with Ramon Martinez. He at least hits left-handers well enough. We'll figure out if we want to bring him in to play. You don't lose a whole lot. We'll see. We'll see if we need to bring him in to play shortstop and just do a double switch here. We're in the 6th inning, so it's kind of in between time. So we got a runner at first base. Let's check his lead. 656 for a guy who steals at a 0. That's a normal lead with no pickoff attempt. So Ramon Martinez is going to be a 1-11 to control. So 551 off of his card is going to be a strikeout. So he comes off the bench and he strikes out as Hampton gets him with a good change. And the Cubs get one back on the Eric Karros home run into right center field. And that's going to bring the score to 8-5. So Cubs within 3. We need to get a new pitcher in here. Let's see what we got. Borowski did not impress last time, although Alfonseca did. Let's get Mike Remlinger in here. Remlinger, left-hander, who would later, or I think he later pitched for the Braves. I don't know. Maybe it was before. But he used to throw for the Braves. Lefty, he's going to come in right here. And he can go 4 batters. So getting into the bullpen, he's going to face Sheff, Jones, and Lopez. Against a lefty, Sheffield is a +6. So he's a 1-15 for control. 336 off Sheffield's card is a fly ball. That's a pop up to third. Caught by the third baseman Ramirez. No problem there for out number 1. And up next is going to be Chipper Jones. Jones batting right-handed this time. So against lefties, he's going to be a 1-13 for control in this at-bat. 202, we'll go to the pitcher. Against a righty, that's going to be a fly ball. That's popped up to second base. And a couple of pop-ups here for Remlinger, who he's really got these hitters off balance out on their front foot. And it'll be Rajavi Lopez to the plate. Lopez 2 for 3 with an RBI. He's got a couple of singles on the day. He's a +2 against lefties. That makes him a 1-11 for control. 227 is going to be another fly ball. 892. He at least gets it out of the end. Oh, well, no, he doesn't. That's a popped up at short. So that's a pop up again. So 3 pop-ups in a row as the shortstop Gonzalez makes the play. Wow, 1-2-3 inning for Mike Remlinger in the 6th. And for the 1-2-3 inning, he gets a stop there. So we head to the top of the 7th inning. Mike Hampton's still in there. He's nursing an 8-5 lead. He'll face the top of the order, though. We'll see how it goes with Hampton. He's up possibly the next inning, so let's see if we can get through one more. Bobby Cox says, all right, big man, get us through. Lofton is 0 for 3. He is going to control this at bat. And I'm sorry, it's Hampton controlling the at bat. 646 for Hampton against a lefty is a strikeout. Fastball in, handcuffs him. He can't get around to it, and that's going to be Grizzlanek to the plate. He's over 3 as well. This comes off the pitcher card again. 594 against a righty is going to be in his strikeout range. And look at Hampton, 3 Ks in a row. Burning them up as he gets them with a 2-seamer down and away. Sammy Sosa to the plates. Sosa is 1 for 3. 17, that comes off of the pitcher again. 616 against a righty is, you guessed it, a strikeout. So going back to the last inning, 4 strikeouts in a row. 5 of the last 6 have been struck out. And Mike Hampton giving them the business. So that's actually going to lead to a +1 with a 1-2-3 inning and a strikeout at the end of it. So Mike Hampton doing it to it. And we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Let's get a new pitcher in for the Cubs. Remlinger did pretty well. What do we need to cover? The 7th and the 8th at this point. So let's go with Veers. And then Farnsworth is sort of the back of the bullpen. So Dave Veers, he is a righty. He's going to come in here. He can go 4 batters, and he's really good against lefties. Doesn't make much difference here. He's going to face 3 right-handers. Andre Jones, Julio Franco, and Vinny Castilla. Against righties, Andre Jones is very good. He's a 1-15 for control. 631, though, is a strikeout, as Dave Veers gets the K to start the 7th inning. 8-5 is our score. This series is tied 2-2. Winner of this game goes on to the next round. Well, I'll say that they win the series. I don't think I'm going to play the next round, but definitely would win the series. Franco a -1, and that makes him a 1-9 for control. So 717 is just into his walk range. Doesn't have a huge walk range, but he draws a walk. That's actually the 3rd walk of the day, though, for Julio Franco. His walk rate is only 7% against right-handers. So they have not pitched him well. Vinny, so we check the runner. 752, he steals at a 0. So that's a normal lead. And there's no pickoff attempt. So Vinny Castilla to the plate. Castilla 0 for 2. This is going to be controlled by the pitcher. 857, though, is going to be a hit. Beers gives up a lot of hits to right-handers. The hit is a 751. Against righties, that's a double for Castilla, as he hits a line drive off the right field wall. Almost puts it out of the ballpark. And he's going to cruise into second base. That pushes the runner to 3rd. He's a -1. Let's see if he scores from first. Going first to home, they're cautious. And he's a -1. That's going to be a hold all the way down the line. So going to hold him up at 3rd base. And that brings up the pitcher spot. Mike Hampton. Hampton, he's eyeing a complete game. We'll see if let's see if he can do anything. They're going to play the infield in here. 18, this is off of Veers' card. 536 against a righty is going to be a strikeout. That's exactly what he needed. Hampton has struck out 3 times in this game. And what that does is allows them to play the infield back. Base hit's going to score at least 1, though. And Rafael Fakal just scorching hot. He is a 1-16 for controlling this at bat. He does. It's a 0.33, though. So that's going to be a grounder. That goes to the 3rd baseman. No problem at 3rd for Vinny Castilla. We got runners at 1st and 2nd. The roll is a 125. 125 is here. And that's going to be a 5-3 put out. And that will end the inning. So Ramirez makes the throw across. And that's going to end the threat for the Braves. So the Braves put runners at second and third. But they can't get anyone around to score. It's still 8-5. Cubs are within striking distance. Hampton going out again for another inning. His stamina is still at 7. He's going to face Alou, Ramirez, and Karros. And he's given up a couple of home runs here. Let's see if the Cubs can get back into this one. Moises Alou is a +4. 1-14 against a righty. 282. That's off Hampton's card. That's a fly ball. Popped up to first base, and no problem at first base for Julio Franco. Next up, Aramis Ramirez. It looks like an H, but it's an A. Aramis Ramirez, 2 for 3. It's got a 3-run homer and a single. This is going to come off of his card. 328 off a lefty is a fly ball. 697, that'll be out to center field and caught by Andrew Jones in center field. That's a can of corn out there. Most things are a can of corn for Andrew Jones. And last hope here in the top of the 8th inning is Eric Karros. Karros also with a homer. He's 2 for 3 as he homered in his last at-bat. Against lefties, he is a 1-14, so this comes off his card. 130 is going to be a ground ball, though. That grounder is bounced right out in front of the plate. Possible error on the play, 0.35. Lopez's error rating is a 4. And 35 is outside that range. So he is going to make a good throw to first base. And that'll be another 1-2-3 inning for Mike Hampton, who is dealing tonight. He's set himself up in position to be able to get the complete game victory in Game 5. Braves still lead this one 8-5. We're going to bring in Kyle Farnsworth. Farnsworth reminds me of Kyle Finnegan. Both have kind of a tall, athletic, muscular kind of build. Both throw gas. So Farnsworth comes in for the bottom of the 8th inning. Sorry, that was a 0 up here. Comes in for the bottom of the 8th inning. He'll face off against the top of the order, Giles, Sheffield, and Jones. Against righties, Giles is a +6. Farnsworth a -3, so 1-13 for the batter to control. This comes off the pitcher card, and that's going to be a ground ball against a righty. That's hit to second base, and no problem at second base for Grudzielanek, who makes a good throw over to first and gets his man for out number 1. Brings up Gary Sheffield. Sheff is 1 for 4. He had an RBI double way back when. And a 6, 1-13 for control. So this is going to come off the pitcher card. 904 is going to be some sort of a hit. 753 could be a big one. That's actually going to be a double for Sheff. Another double in the game. As he hits a ground ball into left center, that's going to roll all the way to the wall. Picked up by Kenny Lofton in center field. And there is no error on the play. So Sheffield cruises into second base with a double, as that one gets all the way to the fence. And it's going to be Chipper Jones. Chipper Jones. What is he? 0 for 3. Let's see if he can come through against Kyle Farnsworth. He's batting left-handed, so Farnsworth is a -2 against lefties. So 1-14 for control. It's off the pitcher card. 482 against a lefty is a K, as Farnsworth gets his first strikeout of the game. That'll be out number 2, and he stays right there. Farnsworth with the 31% K percentage against righties, 27 against lefties. Excellent FIP. Right around a 3 FIP for the year. Javi Lopez to the plate. He is going to be a 1-12 for controls. This is off his card. 0-53. That's going to be a ground out, though, as that goes to the third baseman. Let's see. Castilla will grab it. And with a runner at second base. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not Castilla. It's Ramirez. Runner at second base. Let's see what happens. 9-73. And runner at second base. That's going to be a 4-3 put out. So Lopez grounds out. That's going to end the threat and end the 8th. As we head to the top of the 9th inning, Mike Hampton looking for the complete game victory in Game 5. If they can win this game, they will go on to the next round, and the Cubs will be eliminated, reversing and changing history. Alex Gonzalez to the plate, then Damian Miller, then the pitcher spot. Gonzalez, right-handed batter against a lefty. He's going to be a 1-11 for control. So a 15 for him is going to be a grounder. That'll be a ground ball to third base. No problem for Vinny Castilla. Castilla, a notoriously strong arm at third base. Played so many years with the Rockies. Sort of ended his career with the Braves. That brings up Damian Miller to the plate. Like I said, the Cubs don't have a lot of great options against lefties. Damian Miller is a better option than Paul Bacco. So we got a left-handed, against left-handers, he's a +1. So a 1-11 to control. This does come off of the batter card. 199 against a lefty is a ground ball. 683, another grounder to Vinny. And Vinny is going to make the play again. And that's 2 outs. The hometown Braves fans up on their feet with 2 outs. They've been up the whole 9th inning. They can smell it. They can smell a victory. And let's see if Hampton can bring it home. We need to get a pinch hitter here, I guess. So sorry, everybody. How about a Doug Glanville sighting? He's a right-hander we can bring off the bench. Shooter in the 9th. This guy was in the 7th, I believe. 6th. All right, Doug Glanville, pinch hitting in the 9th inning. 15 is going to go to the pitcher. 649. Is he going to strike him out? He is. And the 1-2-3 inning with the strikeout to cap off the complete game victory for the Atlanta Braves. Mike Hampton goes the distance, and he gives up 5 runs, but they score 8. 3, 5, 7, 8 runs, and that's going to be an 8-5 victory for the Atlanta Braves, and they take home the first round win. All right, let me put this on hold. I'll come back with the totals, and we'll check out the end of this one. All right, and we are back with the totals in this one. Chicago loses 8-5 to the hometown Braves. Mike Hampton is going to be our player of the game. He goes 9 innings, gives up 7 hits, 5 runs. Only 3 of those were earned. No walks and 10 strikeouts. So just doing it to it. Look at all these strikeouts in the last 4 innings. 5 runs on 7 hits and 2 errors for the Cubs. 8 runs on 7 hits and 2 errors for the Braves. Kerry Wood takes the loss, goes 5 innings, gives up 5 hits and all 8 runs. 5 walks, which was really a killer. But he did have 6 strikeouts, just too little too late after this first inning, or first few innings. Just, gave up, 7 runs in the first 3 innings. That's going to tank you. But you can see that he righted the ship, and the bullpen came in and pitched very well as well. And offensive player of the game, maybe for Call, 1 for 3. He had a 3-run homer. Couple doubles from Chef and a couple of singles from Javi Lopez. Not a lot of offense going on. 3 doubles for Franco, and he wound up scoring twice. And a double for Vinny Castilla as well. So not a ton of hits in this one, but when they did hit them, they counted. As we get the 3-run homer here, and then the Braves scattered a few base knocks and RBIs, RBI ground out, just a few different things. There was a sac fly somewhere in here for Andruw Jones, and then you get the big 3-run homer from Aramis Ramirez. Carroll's tried to keep him in it with a solo bomb, but it was just not enough to keep up with this Braves offense today. So the Braves would go on to lose this in real life. They would go on in this replay to play in the next round. It would be against San Francisco or the Florida Marlins. And the Marlins, sort of a Cinderella story. They would go through all the way and beat the Yankees for their second championship in like 6 years. They won in 97, and then they won again in 2003. And just like in 1998, 2004, they got totally dismantled and have not, they just now made the playoffs again. I mean, I don't think they've been back to the playoffs for a long time. So it worked once. They tried it again. It worked a second time. They've tried it again to no avail. Last year, they did make the playoffs as the Miami Marlins, but got cast aside in the first round and were not able to be a Cinderella last year. So this is played with the 2003 set for Precision Baseball. You can pick up the 2023 set right now. It's for sale at clarkandedisongaming.com. This one will be finished very soon. I think I have everything put together. You'll get everything that you've seen here. I'll just need to make a few edits here. But you get the gameplay sequences. You get this piece of paper here, which helps you to keep track of all of the pitching stamina as you go along. There's a little bit of a reminder here for each one. You can, it's like a little game mat. You can put your away and your home lineups. You're gonna get the gameplay sequences. You're gonna get the fielding and base running charts. You're gonna get all of the ballparks. So we played 2 ballparks, Turner Field and Wrigley Field, so you'll get those. You'll get the ground balls at normal depth plus the infield in. You'll get the base runner advancement on hits to the outfield. I've revamped this a little bit so it's a little bit bigger and easier to see. You'll get runner advancement on fly balls. You'll get runner advancement on line drives, so both the infield and the outfield. You will get the highlight plays. The highlight plays are here. So you're going to get all these highlight plays. You're going to get the different offensive strategies. So squeezing, bunting, hit and run, all those fun things. You'll get all of the manager tendencies, which are every manager that got in, including some that got fired. So you can see Jack McKeon and Jeff Torborg both. You'll get those, and then there's just sort of one. Each of the managers has their own tendencies, but the base running tendencies are just connected to the team. But you get all of those, so if you're wondering where I got all those, they're aggressive, they're cautious, whatever, that comes off this page. You're going to get the game guide. So the Precision Baseball game guide, chock full. You can see that it's pretty big writing. And full color, it gives you sort of, you know, what everything means, how to do everything. This goes through sort of in depth how to do the advantage roll when you start the game with examples. There's also a pretty fat glossary in the back. So if you have a question about what any of these things on the charts mean, then the glossary tells you all about everything. I was using these charts. These charts are in here for the pickoffs. So this is how to get the lead. This is if there's a pickoff. And then if there is a pickoff play, how do you resolve that? So that's all here. That's also going to be on the gameplay sequencing chart. How to steal bases, dealing with throwing errors. So everything that you can do in the game is going to be found in this game guide. Now it's quite a bit of printing for that game guide. So you can print it in color or not, doesn't matter. But you'll have it just once. I like to keep it all clipped up. It's kind of thick, so I usually just keep a clip here on it, just like that. And so then I can just reference anything that I need to reference with that clip. And then the player cards. So that's sort of the main event, right? And the player cards come, you get pitchers and batters both. So you can see they're definitely two different types of cards. This is the batter card and the pitcher card. But you're going to get so many players. So let's see who got in for 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Joe Dolly. He pitched 6 and 7 innings total. Pretty good against righties, but terrible against lefties. So you're going to get Joe Dolly. You're going to get starting pitchers who did not have very many innings pitched. Ramirez isn't one of those. Shane Reynolds pitched for them a little bit that year, former Astro. And so you're going to get a ton of players there. You're going to get a ton of players here. Let's see. You're going to get all of these pitcher cards. So if a pitcher got a plate appearance, he gets rated. Even Johnny Smoltz, who is most likely going to hit a fly ball. Grabowski got 1 plate appearance. Jason Markey got 4. Joe Dolly in his, I guess he had a start, so he gets in there. He was, he's got 100% strikeout percentage, so he's almost guaranteed a strikeout. Kent Merker got 1, and then you got your starters here who got plenty of plate appearances. So you can see that you're going to get plenty of players here, and there might be the odd player who got in as a pinch hitter with no plate appearances, or he got into the field and has no, well, a pinch hitter, you'd have a plate appearance. That guy who got into the field with no plate appearances. But you're mostly going to get, you know, Ryan Langerhans, I think was a rookie that year, got 15 plate appearances. These are all your sort of lower level kind of guys. Johnny Estrada was definitely young back then, not many plate appearances. This guy here, Bong, was a relief pitcher. Trey Hodges, a relief pitcher. So anybody that got to the plate, basically, you're going to get a card for. So it's almost 1,500 players. You get all this, plus a little bit more that comes with the packet that I'm not showing here. You get all this for $12. So I don't know if I'm getting ripped off or not. Hopefully it just means that it gets it into your hands. That's really what I want. I want people to play this game. I want them to play it. I want them to love it. I want them to enjoy savoring baseball on the tabletop with players from the youth. You know, that's kind of where I am. 2003 is as far back as I can go with this game, just because all of these stats, you know, these stats over here are all StatCast era. And then all of these stats here are based off of ground ball, fly ball, and line drive percentages, which weren't calculated a long time ago. And then I've tried and I've looked and I've tried to see if I can finagle anything, but I would just have to be doing a lot of guessing in order to do something different. So I'm not going to guess. The goal of this game is to, as precisely as possible, describe the game of baseball based off of sabermetric and advanced stats. That's the goal of the game. So hopefully that comes across, and hopefully the game feels authentic and realistic to you. I'd love to see people's replay numbers after playing it for a long time. I personally think that the numbers are fine. I've had a guy who likes to run numbers who has run them against the Stratomatic card numbers and sort of this player against that player viewer, and they come out just the same as Stratomatic. So I assume that the math on them is perfectly fine. It's basically a 50-50 game, but it's an augmented or modified 50-50. So each player is really put against one another. So just because a player has an advantage against another player, if you switch out one of those players, that advantage may or may not exist anymore. And just because they have the advantage doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a good play for them. It just means that it's going to come off of his card. So the players who are the best are going to have more statistics come off of their card, more rolls come off of their card. Although there's going to be the odd time when, you just roll a 1 and Roger Clemens doesn't control the at-bat, or Randy Johnson, or whoever it is. And so it's going to be Damian Miller who gets to control that at-bat because maybe he guesses right or whatever. But the reality is it's sort of up to what Damian Miller did. So if he's not a great player, then the odds of him being great, even though he gets in the upper hand in the at-bat, just like in real life, if he guesses right against Roger, he might have a chance to hit one out. But the reality is, even if you guess right against Roger Clemens, you've still got to be a good enough hitter to be able to do something with it. So it's I feel like it's fair. I feel like it makes sense. And you should go try it out for $12. You can test it yourself. Don't guess. Just lay out the $12. You get the game automatically, basically a download right there when you purchase. There'll be a link sent to your email if you can't download it right then, and you can download it later. If you have any issues with purchasing or downloads or anything like that, just let me know. But the game comes as a PDF, so you can play it on your computer. You can print it out. You can do however you want to do it. And just let me know how it goes. I've heard lots of good things about it from different people. If you purchase the game, which I think I've made probably 40 purchases so far, something like that. If you purchase the game and after a couple weeks, you'll receive a review, kind of a prompt to give a review of the game. So if you would, just give a review of the game. That really helps other gamers when they go onto the website, because that gets attached to the game page where you make the purchase. And so they can see those reviews. So anything that you say can help others. I don't really, I get mostly great reviews, but even if there's a review that doesn't like the game, I don't filter those out. So I want everybody to have an honest opinion. If everybody hates the game, I want you to say that. If everybody loves the game, I want you to say that too, because that's going to help persuade some people in terms of being able to shell out that $12 or not. 2003 is coming. Like I said, I've got everything ready. So you're seeing, managers are all here, and I've finished all the ballparks, including you get a bonus ballpark because the Expos played in Puerto Rico for 20-something games. So you'll get that ballpark as well, and you'll be able to play there. It relatively matches the dimensions of Olympic Stadium in Montreal, so they sort of reconfigure the stadium. So it's not so different in terms of the way it plays, but it is a different stadium, a different look, kind of cool in that way. And then I'm working on 1986 for on-base baseball, so that should be coming pretty soon. I'm working on 1991 for play action football, which I know I've been talking about for a long time, but it's baseball season. It's kind of hard for me to get into football during baseball season, especially when the Braves are in the race, which they're limping, but they're still in it. And if anybody can hit with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position, I want you to call Alex Anthopoulos and just tell him you can suit up, because that's what they need. They need somebody that can knock a run in every once in a while. Just, make contact, hit it to the outfield, something. Don't pop up, don't strike out. That's kind of what they're looking for. But they don't seem to have anybody who can do that on a consistent basis. So, anyway, go to the website, clarkandaddisongaming.com. Check out what I do have there. 1980 on base came out not long ago. So if you like 80s baseball, late 70s, that's your jam. Those are your people. I also just released a physical product here called On Base Pocket Edition. So it's all of the On Base teams, as well as the pitcher and batter cards. Basically, this is the game engine here on the top. These are the game engine cards. And then you have all the team cards here. And each one has the pitchers on one side and the batters on the other side. So you'll get them rated for, batting, defense, and speed, which are the main ratings. And then you got a nice little box here with the main instructions for playing the game. There's also a download link on the page itself when you purchase the product, and you can download the full game guide from there. But most of the important instructions are all inside the box, so it comes kind of as a self-contained unit. That's the idea, and I'll put the link to that in the description, and so you can check that out. On Base Baseball plays in about like 30-35 minutes. It's a much faster version of baseball than what we got here. It's more like APA Basic or Strat Basic, and depending on the rules that you play or how deep you get with it, it can go into the 20 to 30 minute range, which I've heard some people say they do play it like that. There's also an online dice roller, which helps with this game, but you can play just with 2d6s. Don't have to be different colors, just standard dice like this. So you can play with 2d6s and d10. So super easy. If you have a d9, awesome. Most people don't. And you can play with a d10. It's no problem. It's also a very vanilla game. So if you wanted to add on to On Base Baseball and you wanted to make it more, you could do that. You could add in as much depth as you wanted with base running and fielding and all that kind of stuff. So it's a very extensible game and modular, but you're going to have to add in some of those things. That was the whole point of the game. Yeah, I think that's it. That's enough hawking things right now, but I got to get going and go to work. But the Braves take Game 5 by a score of 8-5, and they will move on in this 2003 NLDS replay. I'm not going to continue to play out more like series games or anything like that from 2003. I might like pick and choose a couple of teams just to show you how it can play or how it will play or what comes with the game. One exciting thing I added was an emergency pitcher card. So at the end of all the pitchers, you'll have an emergency pitcher card. So that is like the worst pitcher column plus some. And that's for On Base Baseball. So I did an emergency pitcher card for them. For this game, I don't think you'll need any of that. If there was a batter or position player who got in and threw significant innings, he's probably carded. So don't worry about that. He's probably in the game. So just something to check out. But that was for On Base Baseball. There's an emergency pitcher card, which is kind of fun. All right. If you haven't subscribed, click subscribe. If you like this video, just give it a thumbs up. That's a really easy way to support what I'm doing here. You can also share this video with someone. I can see that people are sharing, so that's much appreciated and very helpful. And thank you for all those who share the videos here. I also share them to the Facebook group, so if you want to join that group, go to Facebook groups, look up Clark and Addison Gaming Company, answer a few questions, and agree to the group rules, and I'll let you in. That's where you're going to get the most up-to-date information. Everything that I put out is going to go through there first. So if you want to be the first to know everything, then that's the group to join. What else is there? Yeah, I think that's it for now. I really appreciate everybody's support in this game. 2003 is coming. I'll let everybody know when it's available. Maybe this as early as this weekend. We'll see if I can get everything together. Together in time. Yeah. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.